Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're plugging into a really pivotal shift happening right now in Tennessee's automotive sector.
Yeah, the whole EV transition.
Exactly. The state is really charging ahead, becoming a major hub for electric vehicle manufacturing.
And you've got these massive projects coming online.
Like Ford's Blue Oval City. I mean, that's set to bring 6,000 jobs to Stanton alone.
6,000, that's a huge number.
It is, and it means the need for a highly skilled workforce is, well, it's absolutely critical.
That's right. And this rapid evolution, towards EVs, plus all the automation and AI flooding into manufacturing, it's a real challenge.
How so?
Well, the traditional ways of training people, they just struggle to keep pace.
With the speed of the tech changing.
Yeah, the speed, the complexity, it's a different world.
And that's exactly where our deep dive begins today. We're looking into an initiative from a company called EON Reality.
Okay.
They're aiming to transform workforce training in this vital area using something they call spatial AI and XR.
XR. So virtual and augmented reality.
Correct. So our mission really is to understand how this tech seeks to bridge that critical skills gap.
And get Tennesseans ready for these new automotive jobs.
Prepare them for the future, basically. You hear about 6,000 jobs, the buzz is huge.
But if people aren't trained?
Exactly. What happens then? That's the challenge Tennessee's auto sector is really trying to tackle head on.
Okay, so let's dig into that skills gap a bit more.
Good idea.
When we talk about modern EV production, what specific skills are actually needed? Things that, were such a big deal before.
Well, the information we've looked at highlights several key areas. First, there's deep knowledge of EV battery technology.
Right, the heart of the vehicle.
Understanding how they work, how they're assembled, the safety protocols, especially for maintenance, that's crucial.
And definitely the high voltage systems.
Yeah.
Safety there must be paramount.
Absolutely essential. Then you've got robotics integration. These factories are heavily automated.
So it's not just fixing robots, it's working with them.
Precisely. Working alongside them, understanding advanced assembly processes, and even, get this, collaborating with AI-driven manufacturing intelligence.
Wow, okay. AI collaboration on the factory floor.
Yeah, and this is where you really see the traditional training methods start to, well, struggle.
How so? What are the main limitations?
Think about the practicalities. Hands-on training with live, high-voltage EV systems.
Oof, inherently risky.
Very. And then trying to give every single trainee enough time on really expensive, complex robotic systems.
The scale and cost would be huge hurdles. Logistically difficult.
Exactly. And how do you even teach someone to, collaborate effectively with an AI system using a textbook or a standard lecture?
Good point. It's just not the same.
So traditional ways often lack the speed needed, the ability to scale up effectively, and maybe most importantly, the safety level required for this new kind of manufacturing.
You just can't easily replicate that high-tech, high-stakes assembly line feel in a normal classroom, can you?
Not really. So let's explore EON Reality's proposed solution then.
Okay, sounds like they're aiming for a pretty integrated system.
They are. At the heart of it is this integrated ecosystem, and it's powered by their spatial AI technology.
Spatial AI, okay.
The core piece seems to be the EON XR platform. Think of it as a cloud-based system.
For creating and deploying training simulation.
Exactly, interactive 3D training. But here's where it gets really interesting. They have this feature called Revolutionary Spatial AI Text-to-XR capability.
Text-to-XR. So turning text into virtual reality experiences.
Basically, yes. And the speed they're claiming is, well, pretty stunning.
How fast are we talking?
Our information suggests it can take existing stuff like detailed EV assembly manuals, TSAC curriculum, safety procedures.
Really dense technical material.
Right, and convert it into interactive XR training modules in under 80 seconds.
Wow, okay. Less than a minute and a half.
Yeah.
That's potentially transformative for keeping content current.
That's the idea. The spatial part, as I understand it, is about the AI understanding the 3D relationships. It's not just flat text, it builds an immersive environment.
Which makes sense for hands-on skills.
Totally. Think about how long it usually takes to update training materials when a new model comes out or a process changes.
Weeks, months sometimes.
This could potentially crush that timeline.
Yeah.
And then, built on top of this platform, they have something specific called the AI Academy for Income Automotive EV Track.
So a dedicated program for Tennessee's needs.
Seems like it. It combines those immersive XR simulations we talked about with AI personalized learning paths. So the training adapts to you, to your pace, your needs.
Personalized learning, that's a big buzzword. Does it work here?
Well, it also emphasizes practical skill validation.
Hmm.
So you demonstrate your skills within the simulation, and it tracks performance metrics.
So you get proof you can actually do the task.
Right. Plus, it offers industry-recognized micro-credentials.
Those little focus certifications.
Exactly, things that really matter on a resume. And crucially, it aims to build direct hiring pipelines with the auto employers.
So learn the skills, prove the skills, get connected to a job. That sounds like the goal.
Pretty much. The info also mentions the EON Career Guide and Compass. What are those?
Ah, right. These sound like AI tools to help people navigate their careers.
In automotive, specifically EVs and autonomous tech.
Yeah, but helping people figure out what skills they have, what skills they need, and building in like a personalized roadmap to get there.
So guidance towards the right training and the best job opportunities.
Makes sense in such a fast-changing field.
And the foundation for all this training, it's the AI-era automotive curriculum.
And crucially, it's not just generic content, is it?
No, that's a really key point. It's co-developed with Tennessee automotive experts.
And the TCN instructors, the folks on the ground.
Yes, Tennessee colleges of applied technology instructors are involved. The focus is heavily on those essential technical skills.
Like battery tech, robotics.
But also on using AI diagnostic tools, working effectively with robots, and understanding data from these smart factories.
That collaborative development seems vital, ensures it actually matches what Tennessee's industry needs.
Absolutely. So, okay, they have the tech, they have the curriculum. How do they actually plan to deploy this? Get it to the people.
Right, the how. It seems to revolve around strategic partnerships and flexible deployment.
Partnerships with who? State agencies.
Yeah, they're working with state agencies like TNECD, the Department of Labor and Workforce Development.
Aligning with existing programs like Drive to 55.
Exactly. And of course, the TKS are huge partners. Other schools like Pellissippi State.
And industry itself. Ford, Nissan, GM.
Definitely. The big manufacturers, their suppliers, the Tennessee Manufacturers Association. It's a wide net.
So it's not just EON dropping tech in isolation, it's about integrating it.
Deeply integrating it, yeah. The goals of these partnerships are pretty clear.
Such as?
Aligning strategies, making sure this fits with other workforce efforts, defining the actual skill standards the industry needs.
Validating the training content.
Right. Making sure it's good. Offering work-based learning, apprenticeships, and then smoothing the path for graduates to get hired.
Streamlining the hiring process. That's key for companies needing workers quickly.
For sure. And how is it actually delivered? Like, where do people go for this training?
Several models are planned. They talk about dedicated AI Academy hubs, maybe at TSECs or even inside company facilities.
Okay, physical locations.
Also integrating it into existing college labs. And interestingly, mobile XR training units.
Mobile units, so they can take the training out to different communities.
Seems like it. Plus, train the trainer programs to build up local expertise to deliver this long term.
Building sustainable capacity. Smart.
So if this all comes together, what are the big benefits for Tennessee?
The potential upside looks pretty significant. First off, that hyper-accelerated workforce pipeline.
Right. They claim training essential skills up to 4 times faster.
Which is massive when you've got projects like Blue Oval City needing thousands of workers on a tight schedule.
Speed is definitely critical. What else?
Enhanced safety. That's a big one.
The zero-risk virtual training for high-voltage stuff and robotics.
Exactly. You can practice complex, dangerous tasks safely until you master them. You just can't beat that safety aspect for certain skills.
Makes perfect sense. Less accidents, better prepared workers.
And they also expect better skill proficiency overall, higher quality work.
Better competence, more consistency. They even mention a potential 75% boost in knowledge retention.
That's a huge claim for retention. XR can be very engaging.
Yeah. And that instant content creation we talked about, text to XR in under 80 seconds, keeps training constantly up to date.
Which is vital when the tech is changing so fast.
Plus scalability and cost efficiency. They project maybe 50-60% cost savings.
How? By reducing the need for physical equipment.
That seems to be the main driver. Fewer expensive robots or physical battery assembly lines needed just for training.
So you can train more people more effectively, potentially for less money per person.
That's the argument. And maybe the most crucial benefit in the long run, future-proofing the workforce.
Getting people ready not just for today, but for tomorrow's factories.
Exactly. Building skills in EV tech, yes, but also those AI-era competencies.
Collaborating with robots, analyzing data, using AI diagnostics. Right. The stuff that's coming fast.
Absolutely. The ultimate goal, the information really stresses this, is securing Tennessee's automotive leadership.
making sure Blue Oval City and similar projects succeed, creating those jobs.
And keeping the state competitive globally in the auto sector.
It really does paint a stark contrast with traditional training, doesn't it?
Totally. The slow content updates, the one-size-fits-all learning speed, the safety limits with real gear, the higher costs.
This approach seems to tackle those points directly: speed, immersion, safety, scalability, cost.
And to make it even clearer, they give specific examples of training applications.
Like what?
Things like virtual EV battery assembly simulations, practicing that intricate process.
Or high-voltage safety procedures in VR.
Exactly. Training on robotic cell operations virtually, using augmented reality overlays to guide maintenance tasks on a real engine, maybe.
AR guidance, yeah.
Even training people to work with AI for quality control spotting defects on a simulated assembly line.
AD calibration simulation, connected vehicle diagnostics, lots of potential uses.
End-of-line quality checks, lean manufacturing flow simulations. The list goes on.
Those examples really help you visualize how this could make training much more practical and effective, more engaging too.
Right. So, wrapping up our deep dive here, it really seems EON Reality's initiative, focusing on spatial AI and XR.
It presents a potentially really transformative solution for Tennessee.
Addressing that critical skills gap in automotive and EV manufacturing, which is evolving so quickly.
Yeah, the core takeaway seems to be faster, safer, more effective training.
Leading to a workforce that's actually ready for these high-tech demands.
Which, as we said, is just vital for things like Blue Oval City and keeping Tennessee at the forefront.
Absolutely. And, it leaves you with a thought, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, if this integration of AI and immersive tech proves successful in the auto sector,
could it revolutionize training elsewhere?
Exactly. Think about other industries facing rapid technological change. Healthcare, aerospace, energy. Could this approach work there too?
It's a really interesting question. The potential broader implications are huge.
Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive today.